My favorite account on TikTok currently is this guy who does acting videos, and he always starts it off with, "Hey Marvel, I'm your biggest fan. Is there any chance you could hire me for one of your films?" And then he does like a little 30-second acting segment where he plays a character, and the comments fry him every single fucking time. He truly does not deserve this. But I'd be lying if I said that I didn't read the comments every once in a while to get a good laugh. I fucking love these. Let me read you. It's Bang Bros. You're hired. It's hired. You're Marvel. Welcome to Black Drop. Hey, it's Indeed. Here's a job application. This guy is an absolute trooper for not turning the comments off. Because if I was Marvel, and I really did think about hiring him for a movie, and I read his comments, I would change my mind immediately. It's Bang Bros, you're hired? Hey, it's Black Raw, you're in? You motherfuckers are ruining his channel. And the one time that he made a video that wasn't about Marvel, and he pretended to be Superman for one of his videos, the comments were fucking trolling him. The top comments are people that changed their name to Marvel, and they were like, "Oh, bro, we were just about to hire you, we were about to DM you, but we can't do it anymore. Are you serious?" Bro, his fans fucking... Albeit, he might not be the greatest actor in the world. Some of those videos aren't exactly knocking on the doors for any Oscar nominees. I really do think he could star in a Tubi movie. I would pay money to see him be the main character of a Tubi film. And it might not be the blockbuster hit that he was hoping for with Marvel. Everybody's got to start somewhere, right? You got to pay your dues. And if he ever watches this video, I fucking love the acting videos, man. Keep it. Greetings, niche community. Today, I have a bit of a more serious video. The topic at hand is femboys. More specifically, the fact that femboys have become mainstream. What once used to be an obscure and niche interest is now appealable to the masses and adored by many. So now, it is no longer niche. And when presented with a problem, you must seek a solution. Now, this is not a new or revolutionary take by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen telltale signs of this each passing year. But, as I alluded to earlier, how will you combat this? Do not ask what being niche can do for you. You must ask what you can do to be niche. Some people would look at this dilemma and point you towards Fuda as the much more niche interest. And to that I say, we are not porn addicts over here. We are people of class. So what is my proposal? Wait for it. Czechoslovakian catboys are the new wave, and they are now our new niche interest, possessing many of the similar qualities that femboys have, while also surpassing them in certain traits, and still maintaining the coveted niche status. At the time of making this video, Czechoslovakian catboys are an idea, a concept, a strategy, but it is up to you to make that plan and dream into a fruition. So with all that being said, that will be the end of my video. Seeing Mr. Beast ask streamers to donate money to his Team Water charity event, and the streamers on average donating 100 grand minimum, has really made me realize how fucking broke I am. Holy shit, these guys dropped an entire year's salary on a charity event on a whim because they felt like it. It was like snapping their fingers. And I know comparison is the thief of joy and yada yada, bro. I don't give a fuck. 100 grand? I mean, albeit they're multi-millionaires, they definitely have the cash to spare. But what's even more interesting is looking at the reactions of the people who donate and how much they donate. The fucking Twitch CEO came on stream and said some bullshit like, "I would be happy to donate $1,000. $1,000? Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money, but you gotta put it into perspective to how much fucking money he has. $1,000 to him is like a penny sliced in 4 different pieces, threw into a trash can, and someone dug it up and sliced it in half again. It's nothing to him. He probably made $1,000 while he was saying that sentence. And I know a lot of people are fucking ragging on Kai Cenat because he hasn't donated shit. I don't really feel bad for him because even if he donated $1 million, it wouldn't come close to putting the smallest dent on the amount of wealth that he has. And at the end of the day, Mr. Beast is just trying to do a good thing. He's trying to provide clean drinking water for people in need. So it's really a win-win situation. There's no losers in this scenario. And the longer that motherfuckers wait to donate, especially the dudes who are like extremely wealthy, that just looks worse on them. I saw Trainwrecks donate $400,000. Like, this dude was getting a fucking haircut, hopped on call, he's like, "Yeah, I'll donate 400 grand. Holy shit. But yeah, W event. At what point as a content creator do you have to come to terms with the fact that you are too old to be talking about the shit that you're talking about? I get it. Giving college advice and high school advice is a pretty big niche, and you'll definitely be successful since plenty of people want to watch those videos. But when do you just call it quits? When do you realize you gotta hang up the towel, bro? Your prime is gone. It's over. You're fucking 40. I remember seeing this clip of this dude on some alpha male podcast giving the best tips on how to crack the college freshman girls when he was well into his 40s, fucking graduated 1978 on some, "Yeah, this is the best spot to get all the freshman girls." I used this when I was in college. What the fuck are we doing? Genuinely? You're losing me. We're losing the plot here. Also, this one's a little silly. I don't hate this guy. He's getting a lot of hate. I specifically don't hate him. I think it's just a little silly. I forgot his exact name, but you know the Cue My Music guy where he like screams, "Cue my music." Yeah, bro, I think he's 39. I'm not sure what his exact age is, but I feel like we're a little too old to be talking about best high school book bags to bring for the upcoming school year. I don't want to be a dickhead. It's his content, and he's not hurting anyone. I just think it's a little silly. I'm not hating on him. Please do not hate on this guy. All the people hating on him are assholes, but I can't help but laugh when I see this dude who was probably in high school before I was born on some shit like, "Best book bags." Like, come on. AI is the only way people with disabilities can create art. I also have ADHD and no artistic talent. and would get ChatGPT to jerk me off if it could. If you don't get the intro, I'm referencing this guy who made a video defending AI art, claiming that it was the only way that disabled people and people with no artistic talent could feel the euphoric feeling of being able to create art themselves. And I don't think I need to explain to you why this is bottom 3 takes on the internet. People have been dunking on him since he posted that video, but I want to put my penis into the coffee cup, and I also want to review his points. I'll start it off by saying how ironic it is that he's the one defending AI art out of all people, the guy whose main job is to be a social media news outlet, the most easily replaceable job in existence. The anti-AI folk are the ones keeping you in business. It's really one of those throwing stones from a glass house type of thing. You shouldn't be supporting the very same thing that could put you out of a job. He really likes to harp on the idea of talent and how he's not born without talent, so this is the only way that he can live out his dreams of being an artist. You're missing the mark, because at that point you're not an artist, you're a fucking prompt engineer. And like anything, art is a craft, not a genetic lottery. You are not born with the innate 0.1% chance of being able to draw really, really good. It's something that you have to work towards. Here's an example. Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's an artist. He's a songwriter. He's a pretty damn good songwriter. Do you think that he came out of the womb being able to write the entirety of Hamilton? No. This man has been practicing and honing his craft for over 2 decades. He's been writing songs for over 20 years. It took him 7 years to write Hamilton. Now, do we diminish his accomplishments because he wasn't able to type in a prompt and get it done for him in 30 seconds? No. We praise his achievements and the testament to how much he loves his work to have spent that much time making it. And it's also his magnum opus, so. He also says that AI is the only way that some disabled people will ever be able to make art, and I see where he's coming from. If you have a very debilitating physical disability or mental disability, it's going to be harder to create art. But you can't definitively say that AI is the end-all be-all if you're disabled and you just will never be able to make art, because that's a bit disingenuous to all the disabled artists over the years who have overcome their limitations in order to create something beautiful. And I could give you a lot of examples, yada yada, Beethoven, Frida, I can't think of more, but you get the idea. I think that's all I wanted to say, so thesis of the video, bad take, Marcus. Lock. Would you buy a shirt that says, "I paused my lolly pornography to be here"? I'll give you a second to think. Probably not, right? Most people are gonna say no. I was doom scrolling and I come across this fucking post of a TikTok shop ad that's selling a shirt that says, and I quote, "I paused my lolly pornography to be here." And I thought to myself, okay, well, this is AI generated. So there's no way if I click on the shop link, it's actually gonna show that on the shirt, right? It's literally the same thing, except they crossed out lolly pornography. So it's like, I paused my, don't worry about that last part. This better be good. Bro, I'm not the first person to come up with this mind-blowing take, but TikTok moderation is not the greatest. In fact, it's a little bit far from great. How the fuck do you let this shit onto your platform? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an extremely well-versed person in the anime space, but is lolly pornography not just CP? Am I missing something here? Is that not just illegal? What the bro, what are we doing? Genuinely, what are we doing? You know what's even more sad? If you look at the shop link, 22 people already bought the shirt. 22 souls have been reaped. 22 people have been sent to eternal damnation. Who bought this? Why would you buy this? Under what circumstances do you need to buy a shirt that says, "I paused my lolly pornography to be here"? What situation do you need to wear? Are you gonna wear that to school? Are you gonna wear that to work? Are you gonna wear that outside? There's not a single scenario where this is the right move. Oh my goodness, bro. This is just sad. What is the appropriate punishment for a rapist? Now that is definitely a loaded question that we could spend a lot of time talking about, and this movie sort of tackles that issue, and I really want to talk about it. The movie follows a man named Dr. Robert, a world-renowned plastic surgeon who specializes in burn treatment and skin grafting. He loses his wife in a tragic car accident, and even though she survived, the way that she looked after the accident made her so sad that she killed herself. He also loses his daughter after his daughter was sexually assaulted, and she couldn't live with the grief, so she also... But this is where Vincent comes into play. Now, the movie is originally in Spanish. His name is Vicente, but we're just gonna call him Vincent because it's easier. So, Vincent is the man that did this to Dr. Robert's daughter. So what does Dr. Robert do? He forcefully transitions this man into a woman, bit by bit, giving him forced surgery on his genitals to have a vagina, changing his skin, forcing him to wear corsets, so he morphs into a woman who we presume is his dead wife. That's what we believe Dr. Robert is trying to achieve with all this. He wants to turn Vincent into his dead wife because he feels overwhelming loneliness. And it works. He transitions him into a baddie. He sleeps with her, him. I don't know. The pronouns in this movie are very difficult to grasp because Vincent was forcefully transitioned. He didn't want to be a girl. He sort of just got his nuts chopped off by force after he was sedated and slowly turned into a woman. And in the end, Dr. Robert dies, killed by the very same man that he was transitioning. Vincent / Vera, because Vera's the female version of Vincent, same person, just different names. He ups the switch on him, right? After a night that they sleep together, he grabs a gun and gets rid of Robert, escapes his captor, and returns back to his mother and his old girlfriend. And it is just such a mind-fuck movie. Like, the first time I watched it, I was genuinely in awe because you're supposed to be rooting for Dr. Robert. you're supposed to be against Vincent. Vincent is antagonized at the beginning of the film. But as it goes on more and more, the level of torture and mental strain that he has to go through low-key makes you question who the good guy and the bad guy is here. Honestly, I don't think there are any good or bad guys in the entire film. It is just the story of a broken man who does even worse things to try and repair his life, which doesn't happen at all, but definitely an interesting movie. And if you haven't watched it already, I mean, I kind of spoiled it already, so there's no point in watching it now, but it was... Does anyone know what the original context for this meme is? I keep seeing it. I've been collecting them. There's W maps, W faps, W laps, W naps. Like, there's just so many of them. And I don't understand what was the original clip. Every single time I ask, the only response I get is, oh, the original clip is lost media. We're not going to find it. No one knows what the original clip is. Bro, like, I absolutely love Los, bro. Did you think Los and his dad know that they're in probably like top 5 funniest humans to ever exist? Because every single time they're in a clip, it's just them doing something stupid or his dad hysterically laughing, and it gets me every single time. Even though I don't watch streamers, that's not something that I personally enjoy, but I'll still tune into the clips. Every single time I see a Los clip, you know, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes he is the butt of the joke. I won't beat around the bush here, but it's all in good fun. You know, who doesn't love Los? There was the whole Los thinks he matters. Los, if you step foot into Milwaukee, your name will be called to God. Los, like, they were just threatening Los, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I fucking love his dad. And Los is cool too. Yeah, Los, we love you, Los. But what is the original context of this? 2 overpowered abilities with some limitations. Which one are you choosing? The first power is called Touch of the Maker. If you choose this ability, you now have the power to summon and control anything that you have ever masturbated to. But there is a catch. Upon the first time that you summon this creation of yours, it will be completely made out of white goo. It won't be resistant. It'll be extremely easy to deal with. But every single time that you summon them, there is an invisible bar that only you can see. It is a progress bar. Every single time that you masturbate to the same thing, the progress bar slowly goes up and up and up until it reaches 100%. Once the progress bar is completely filled up, when you summon this creature for the next time, the one that you've been masturbating to, they will be fully realized into their actual form with full power and full capabilities. There is only one limitation to this, and that is that you can only summon one thing at a time. So let's say you jerk off to Godzilla. You can summon one Godzilla, but you can't also summon one Godzilla, one Mothra, one Indominus Rex. It needs to be one at a time. All the damage and any actions that your creation does while you're in control of them stay in the real world, but they will eventually disappear after a 24-hour timer, in which case you can just summon them again if that's what you want to do. And that is the first power, Touch of the Maker. The second power is called Infinite Throw. If you choose this power, you no longer feel hunger. You do not have the ability to be hungry ever again, but your appetite is now bottomless. You have the ability to eat whatever you want. It could be food, it could be cars, it could be buildings, it could be anything that exists in the real world. You can eat it and eat it and eat it, and you will never feel anything ever again. Your body now becomes a pseudo black hole, an eternal void of gluttony that has no bottom. This allows you to eat, like I said, anything that you want with very little limitations. Your mouth can expand as big as you need it to. You could swallow entire buildings if that's what you want to do. You can eat lava straight out of a volcano. Your body now has infinite durability. The only caveat to this superpower is if you don't use it for too long, the void inside of you will eventually turn in on itself and consume you. So you always need to be eating something. You're never going to feel hungry. So eating is more so just going to be something that you do for fun. And you can still taste things. You're going to feel the taste of anything that's in your mouth, but it'll digest this fine and it's not going to hurt your body. You could use this power to completely counter the first one if they were going into one-to-one situations, and you could just eat whatever they conjure up. But besides that, there's not a whole lot of uses unless you just really like eating stuff, because realistically, you could eat your favorite food for the rest of your life and never get fat. The current state of your body that you have when you choose the power is the one that you keep, and you can't change it. You can't get bigger, you can't get skinnier. You are just the way that you are, and that is Infinite Throw. So those are my 2 superpowers, Touch of the Maker and Infinite Throw. Both of them are pretty strong, but if I had to choose, I'm gonna go with Touch of the Maker. It just sounds like a more cool superpower if you're asking me. And yeah, let me know which one. Getting put in a Meat Canyon video has gotta be one of the biggest disses that you can take in your online career. Anytime that he puts someone in one of his animations, the worst, most undesirable parts of their personality are amplified to the max, fucking 10x. And there's really no escaping it, you know? If you find yourself to be the victim of a Meat Canyon video, you most likely deserved it. And a great example of this is his newest video about pirate software, where he gets cursed because he was teaching a mother how to breastfeed her own child by sucking on his own nipples. And after she cursed him, he starts eating himself. His legs protrude inwards and start going inside of his mouth. And the only way to stop it is to admit that he was wrong. Something that he could have very easily done in the real world, but he still refuses to do it. So what happens to him in the animation? Well, he literally eats himself. He's so full of himself. His ego is so massive that he can't fathom the fact that he might be wrong. He would rather die and eat his own literal ass before he admits that he's wrong. The entire video is really on point, and it is extremely uncomfortable to sit through, but that's every Meat Canyon animation. I fucking love the guy though. I hope he never... I just finished watching Ice Cube's newest movie, War of the Worlds, and I can safely say it is the worst piece of media that I have ever consumed in my 18 years of living. Oh my goodness, this movie fucking sucked. This movie is not bad, because calling it a bad movie is an understatement. Madam Web was a bad movie. Captain Marvel was a bad movie. The live action movie for Borderlands, that was a bad movie. This is a train wreck of biblical proportions. I'm gonna spoil the movie for you, and you should be fucking thanking me that I'm sparing you from having to sit through all 90 minutes of that fuck-ass movie. So we follow our main character, a disgruntled old man who lost his wife. He's a hacker for the government. He keeps everyone safe. Long story short, the government was actually lying to him, and they wanted to collect everyone's data. When they tried to do that, the aliens saw all the data and all this protocol that was happening. They came down to Earth because the most valuable thing that we have is data, so the aliens want it. And now it's up to the dad to right everything that was wronged and defeat the aliens and go rogue against the government, and he has to work with his own son because his son is also a hacker, and he was actually the bad guy. Big plot twist, right? His son was actually one of the hackers that was working against the government, but it's not a fucking plot twist because there's no setup and there's no payoff either. We just kind of fucking get told that it happens. Here's the thing. The main thing that I disliked about this movie was the way that it was filmed. So basically the entirety of the movie, you are watching it not from a first person perspective, you're staring at a fucking computer screen. The entire movie is just the dad on his computer and you're looking at his computer screen. So we go from Zoom call to Zoom call to Microsoft Teams to Facebook to another video call. Oh my goodness, it is insufferable. And the acting in this movie, it's hard to even call it acting because everyone seems like they're a little bit confused as to what's going on. I've seen better acting in other films than I have in this movie. This is just abominable, bro. Like, Ice Cube, he's supposed to be the main character. His daughter is literally impaled. She's bleeding out on the floor. A giant piece of metal is in her leg. And you know what he says? Honey, no. You need to stay still, honey. The special effects in this movie are also pretty abhorrent. They all kind of just look like the old Fortnite thumbnails that people used to clickbait with to make you think that they added something in the game that wasn't actually there. That is the entirety of this movie's budget summarized in a single sentence. It is just so bad. Do not watch this movie. Save yourself the effort. It's not one of those so bad it's good movies. It's just a movie that's so bad that you feel like going through the screen and strangling Ice Cube yourself for putting you through this absolute abomination of a film. It is just not good. It's not entertaining. There's no payoff, there's no high stakes, there's no suspense. The movie does a really good job at making you feel helpless, but not in a suspenseful way that adds to the plot. It's rather an insufferable way that makes you want to punch Ice Cube through the screen. It's just not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. It has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think that's too high. We need to be able to go into the negatives. This has truly set the bar for how bad a movie can get, because I am at a loss for words. I just lost 90 minutes of my life that I will never get. Can we please normalize giving context to the images that we send? Or just at the very least using context in general? I make a video talking about some very questionable shirts that are being sold on the TikTok shop. I would call these shirts illegal, and they are being proudly paraded and presented to TikTok's mass audience of minors and impressionable children. So I'm thinking in my mind, okay, some people watch my videos. Why not try to do some good? Why not try to shed some light on the bad things that are being sold on the TikTok shop? Because TikTok's moderation is fucking useless. So I make a video about the shirt. The shirt is titled, I paused my lolly pornography to be here. And the official shirt is literally the same thing, but it's just crossed out. So this is weird. This is not something that motherfuckers should be able to buy on TikTok. So I make a video about it. Why is the top comment on one of my videos an out of context screenshot with the title and my face on it? Do you know how this looks? This does not look good for me. You need to give the context of the image that you're using. You're fucking me. You are figuratively fucking me. Rondo rubber. Why? Why are you doing this? Let's just use context next time, guys. I tried to do a good thing, and this is the thing that I get. How does the saying go? Don't bite the hand that fingers you. I guess in this context, I'm not fingering anyone, but you get what I'm trying to say. Come on. So I'm saying that there's a bit of switching up going on TikTok, where you'll make a take, and then immediately after you'll make another video fighting for the opposite side. So I don't want to get accused of these things. I want to let it be known that I was an original hater since day one. I never liked these people. I have compiled a list of some individuals who I have never liked. So if they do have a tremendous downfall or something bad happens to happen to them where they get exposed for X and Y, then let it be known that I hated them originally. Number one, Nux Taku. This guy's just really annoying. Annoying voice, dog shit takes, and he's basically just known for jerking off to anime. How this guy has a loyal fan base that supports him and loves him and just is always going to be there, I don't know. I find the guy insufferable. Number two, James Charles. Technically, he had a downfall, but I mean, he's still a fucking millionaire who gets to make money on the internet even though he likes to talk to underage boys. I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. Number three is Jack Doherty. He's just really annoying. Never really liked his pranks. Last I heard of him, he was doing the O Guardian trend, but as soon as he did it, he fucking killed it, so I just don't like him. Number four is Keemstar. I don't know if Keemstar is still Is he still active on social media? I'm pretty sure he is. I don't like Keemstar. If you get your news from him, if Keemstar is your primary news source, then I'm gonna believe that you are not the smartest person in the world. And last but not least, this might be a bit of a niche pick. It is gonna be the Roblox developer Cetro. Yeah, if you play his game, you'll know why I'm putting him in the number 5 spot. Last but certainly not least, I definitely have more hate in my heart. I'm sure if I really sat down for an hour, I could think of some more people that I dislike. But for now, that's all that I have. And yeah, let it be known, I am not switching up. My stances on this list is pretty. The Binding of Isaac might be top 5 games of all time, and it is easily one of the best indie games ever created. This game is so fucking peak. The sheer amount of content and things that there is to do in this game is damn near endless. If you're counting the amount of different weapon combinations and randomly generated seeds, and how every single run is literally an adventure, you never know what's going to happen next because it's completely random, then I don't know, maybe you could say that it has an infinite amount of content. Not really though, there's a finite amount of things to do, but there's just so many possibilities. I started playing about 4 weeks ago. I have about 200 hours on the game, and I still feel like I've done so little. There's so many items to unlock, characters to unlock. I haven't even beat every single main boss in the game. It really is just a game that is extremely content heavy, and I honestly think most people are going to enjoy it. The concept itself is pretty wacky, about a little boy who has to escape his mom because she saw some news thing, or she saw like this Christian program that told her to sacrifice her own son, because if she does it, then she'll go to heaven or something. There's a lot of religious symbolism and references inside of the game, and I fucking absolutely love it. It sounds like a wacky concept, but it really is one of the greatest games in existence. If you have not tried The Binding of Isaac, you need to try it.
Everybody wants curly hair, until you wake up looking like this. Look at this bullshit. I look like the fucking Electro Wizard. Zap. Electrons.
So allegedly, Trump is planning on shortening the academic school year to 6 months instead of the usual 9. And I'm seeing a lot of people rejoice and revel in this new information because on paper, it sounds good, right? Less school, less academic burnout, more freedom, more opportunities to gain real-world experience, which is how he put it. And although it does sound good on paper, it sounds good in theory. In practice, I think this is an incredibly stupid fucking idea. You gotta think about it like this. Some students will go to school for 9 months and still be stupid as shit. Hell, I knew motherfuckers you could give them 12 months of school and they still wouldn't be able to sit down and write you an essay without run-on sentences. So how badly do you think it's gonna go when you shorten that time to 6 months instead of 9? Do I think the academic school year could use a little shortening? Honestly, yeah. Maybe to 7 months, 8 months, but 6? Yo. You know, we're gonna have an entire generation of people who just don't know how to do shit. You're gonna ask them the most basic menial task, and they're gonna look at you like Patrick in that one episode where he was just smiling like, I don't think that's a reality that you want. Do I think you need school in order to be a normal, functioning, contributing member of society? No. You can still choose to educate yourself. You can still choose to be a more well-rounded individual. Do I think school shouldn't exist to the point where it's only 6 months? Yeah. These are all the pets that I've had over the years. My first pet was a bunny, and I just called him Conejo, which was bunny in Spanish. Keep in mind, I was 4 years old. I wasn't very good with names. The way that he got away is we left the door open for fucking 2 zeptoseconds, and that motherfucker bolted out the front door, and we never saw him again. My second pet was a pet turtle. I called him Rodrigo, and I was still 4 years old at the time. The way that the turtle got away is he just tunneled under the backyard and left. On some El Chapo shit, he did a grand escape, and he got away. My turtle ran away, which did make me pretty sad. And then my third pet was actually a set of 3 baby chicks, and I was still 4 years old at the time. 2 of the baby chicks were eaten alive by a snake that crawled into the backyard through the very same hole that the fucking turtle dug. And then the last one, we had to return him because I tried to teach him how to fly. In my mind, if he could learn how to fly, he would never get eaten by a snake again. So I grabbed him and I threw him as high as I could. I was 4 years old. I didn't know that they needed to be adults to actually fly. And I think he broke a wing or something. He looked at me. He was pretty pissed. And I felt super bad. I was like, damn, why the fuck didn't you fly, bro? Don't chickens fly? And then my parents had to sit me down and tell me how they need to fucking grow up before they can fly. So that was when they decided that I was too young to have any pets. And now, time skip all the way to present day. I have my final pet, my current pet. It's this bad boy. Hold on. There he is. His name is Max. He's a dog. And obviously he's alive. I've taken good care of him. He'll continue to live. There he is. Not a thought behind those eyes. And yeah, that's all. So if you don't know who this guy is, his name is Carlos M. I'm not going to say his full name since I don't want this video to get taken down, but his entire shtick, his entire gimmick, all that he does on the internet is make extremely crude jokes about sexual assault, pedophilia, rape, age play. I don't even think you can call it age play. He's just straight up fantasizing about doing horrible things to children. And I know that this topic has been covered ad nauseum by a bunch of creators, but it's really one of those things that you can never have too much of. I want to shit on this guy too. What an absolute fucking loser. What a stain on society. I'm ashamed to share a species with this guy. Holy shit. And the saddest part is, this is a grown man. This isn't a minor. This isn't someone who who has like an underdeveloped brain. He fully knows what he's doing. He knows what his words mean, yet he continues to propagate this message. Why? I don't know. He's already been doxxed. His social security number is out there. In fact, I'm pretty sure someone is going to comment his social security card on this video, let's be honest. His home has been shown. They know his full name. They know everything about him. You know, the internet got to work. We all came together for good. I think this is a great cause. Keep it going. Actually, wait. I don't condone doxing. For TikTok not to take this video down, I don't condone it, and you shouldn't dox pedophiles. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's bad. Anyways, yeah, this guy's a fucking loser. I will say, I feel bad for his family. His parents and his siblings are innocent people that got doxed along with him because he chose to be such a deplorable person on the internet. That is completely his fault. I really don't think his family should suffer the repercussions. They just got unlucky with an absolute piece of shit son. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's also funny, he made another account and he doubled down. He said, here's my apology video. I'm not sorry. I'm gonna keep going, guys. It's not that deep. I can't say what I want to say to him because this video will get taken down. All I'm gonna say is if society had less people like him, whether that's through physical means, then I think the world would be a better. Do people think that I'm gonna come through the screen and dick slap them if I see that they're reposting my videos? Because it's honestly not that deep. One of my friends sends me a post, and it says that the post is unavailable, so I tell him, ah, dang, I guess the post got taken down, I can't see it. He tells me, no, they just blocked you. Blocked me? What for? So I go on my burner account, and I do a little digging, and I find out that the account that blocked me is just an account that reposts my videos. And I really don't care, it's not that deep. You didn't need to go into fucking witness protection mode and block my main account so I wouldn't see it. All that I ask is that you tag me. If you're gonna rip my videos one-to-one and just slap it onto your account, what for I don't know. You're not even getting paid for this. You're doing it for the love of the game. All that I ask is that you tag my account. If you're gonna steal my videos, that's okay. I can't really stop you. It's the internet. But you couldn't fucking tag me? Is that too much to ask? I'm not asking for the hair off your testicles or both of your kidneys. All you have to do is take fucking 2 seconds, type my username in the caption, and that would have been it. But no, you fucking blocked me so you didn't have to go through the effort of me, like, seeing your videos and asking you to tag me. Like, Jesus, have we stooped this low? What happened to just tag? VTubers and pedophilia go together like peanut butter and jelly. And I'm not saying that all VTubers are bad, heinous people. I'm just saying that the amount of times that these two groups have coincided is coincidental, to say the least. And I want to talk about one very special VTuber that was brought to my attention who is just straight up a... So this VTuber is a self-admitted pedophile, and her style is like a lot of very sexual, graphic, shock humor to please her audience, which, shit, I guess it pays the bills. Obviously, I don't need to tell you that pedophilia is bad, that jokes about forcing yourself onto little children are bad. You guys know this. Here's the thing, I can rag on this individual all that I want. I could dedicate the rest of this video to making fun of her and calling her a loser, but that wouldn't really do anything because you're not tackling the root of the problem. At the end of the day, a content creator without an audience is powerless. The only reason that she's able to make money off of what she says and what she does and the ideas that she perpetuates is because people watch that. People like to watch that. People enjoy it. They engage with it. And that's what I really think the core problem is. I would argue that every single person that follows her, I'm not going to call them a pedophile because that's a very stark generalization, but I will definitely say they're a little weird. They are very odd individuals who I would not trust around my children. And like I said, when you normalize these types of jokes and you laugh along with it as if it's some sort of entertainment, you're starting to normalize some not good things. Do you get what I'm getting at here? I would blame her audience more than I blame her. Obviously, she's the one saying pedophile jokes and like saying that she wants to do some bad things to little anime girls, and that's absolutely bad. We're in agreement here. Her audience is just as much to blame as she is in my opinion. It's a good day for predators, but a sad day for everyone else. If you don't know who Schlepp is, he's just a YouTuber who dedicates himself to catching predators and people that are trying to groom children on Roblox, which you'd think would be a good thing, right? I see no harm done in trying to catch bad people, bring their actions to light, maybe stop these actions from happening to others in the future. Well, you know what Roblox does to that? They give him a big fat middle finger, terminated all of his accounts, sent him a cease and desist letter, prevented him from ever accessing Roblox again. Like, they sent this motherfucker to the shadow realm. He is no longer allowed to even utter the words Roblox from his mouth anymore. And you know the way that I look at David Baszucki, who's the Roblox CEO? I look at him in the same way that Dokes would look at Dexter before he found out any of this stuff. Like, I know what you are. I just can't prove it. Like, I'm staring at you and I'm seeing your actions. And I ask myself, why are you sheltering pedophiles? Why are you protecting these people who are just not good people at all? That's a better question to ask him because I won't be able to answer it myself. And I do remember that Roblox put out some official statement, something, we don't want vigilante groups, we want these individuals to be dealt with by law enforcement and official law enforcement officers. But you gotta ask yourself, the police has no anti-Roblox pedophilia unit. These YouTubers, people like Schlepp, were your only people that were doing this, the front line against making your platform worse. And what do? You fuck him over. You terminate his shit, never let him go on Roblox again. And there's nothing that he can do about it realistically, right? We can talk about it, but he's 22 years old going up against a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has a lot more money and lawyers to throw around than he does. So what's he gonna do? It's just sad. David Baszucki, what are you doing? Your public image already wasn't good, and this just makes it 10 times worse. Fucking disgusting. I just finished reading Girls Last Tour, and I can safely say that it is one of the only manga that I've ever read that I can confidently give a 10 out of 10. Which surprises even me to be saying this, because I came into it with incredibly low expectations. The story itself is deceptively simple. It just follows two girls wandering a ruined, decaying world in a post-apocalyptic scenario. Their goal is to reach the top. Not because they know what's up there, but because in their mind it has to be better than what's down below. And it's not a story that has this grand overarching narrative with insane fights and villains. It's a simple story about companionship, humanity, and searching for life's meaning in a world that doesn't offer any answers. The theme of this manga can be summarized in a single sentence. If life has no meaning, is it worth living? And we don't get this answer in some sort of grand reveal. In fact, I'd argue that we don't even get the answer at the end of the manga. We're given bite-sized pieces of the solution to the puzzle. It's in the small acts. The most mundane things that we take for granted is the meaning of life, sharing food, listening to music, watching the snowfall. Things that we don't really care for in our day-to-day lives hold such immense weight to the girls in the story because you have to take into account the world that they're living in. Throughout the entire manga, every character has a purpose, whether that's making maps or flying a plane. The very few people that they meet cling on to a single mission, and that is the meaning of their life. Our two characters don't really have one single mission. They really only have each other. Big spoiler warning for the end of the manga if you haven't read it yet, but in the final chapter, when they reach the top, they've lost all of their possessions, all of their food, all they have left is each other. They're expecting salvation, and what are they met with? Absolutely nothing. Emptiness. It is just a giant field of snow. That was the grand journey. That was what they were waiting for. And obviously they're a little bit disappointed in this, but then they laugh together, they play in the snow, and they sleep side by side one last time until their inevitable demise. Because it's heavily implied that both of our characters die at the end of the story, and that ending hits fucking hard, dude. Holy shit. To me, Girls Last Tour is not a story about hope or optimism for a better tomorrow. It's a story about gratuity. It's about being grateful and finding beauty and meaning in a world that's already gone to shit. The world that they live in inside of that manga is an absolute hellhole, but to them, it doesn't matter because they were still able to live their best life possible simply by living it. It makes the reader ask themselves a very uncomfortable question when it's all said and done, when we're on our deathbed and our final day is upon us and all of our possessions are meaningless. Why did we keep living? What was the point of waking up every single morning if we knew that we were just gonna die anyway? And in the final moments of the manga, as our two characters drift away to sleep into eternal nothingness, we get the answer. It was the little moments. It was the things that you didn't think were important in your life that truly gave it meaning. When you experience those tiny little fragments of joy day by day, that's what made the journey worth it, because at the end of the day, that's all that you're gonna have. Man, that manga fucked me up. I'm not gonna tell you how I reacted to the ending, but it's a good read. It's a good, definitely 10 out of 10. It is so unfortunate to know that if you are a talented animator on the internet, you basically have two choices. You can animate porn, or you can animate porn. If you don't know what I'm getting at, there's this animator on TikTok who's been gaining a lot of traction because his animations are extremely fluid and smooth and expressive and well made. They're great to look at. Do you know what 99% of the comments are under every single one of his posts? Waiting for day 34. Come to the dark side. Animate porn. They just want the dude to make porn, even though his animations are safe for work. Whether he plans to do that or not, no one knows. I kind of doubt it. But here's the thing. The reason that I'm saying that you really only have two options as a talented animator on the internet is because, truthfully speaking, animators are criminally underpaid for the amount of work that they do and the learning curve that goes into being a professional animator. Even the people working for the big boys like Pixar or Disney or any big animation studio that does animated movies, I'm gonna say they're making like what, 60, 50K a year, and maybe the really top earners can push 75K. Yeah, I know that dude. If that dude was animating porn, I promise you he could make that in a month. And that's not even a joke either. He really would be out earning professional animators in half the time. He'd be making their yearly salary in like a fucking 3-month period. And it's kind of sad to think about because I really do think animators are underappreciated, but man, this guy is talented. Do I ever think that he's gonna use his powers for the dark arts? Who knows? But all I know is whatever he decides to do, he's gonna be successful because the guy is great at animation. I do not tip my DoorDash drivers. Up. Before you say anything, before you call me a heinous individual for not tipping a poor delivery driver who's just trying to make some money, I'll explain what I do. When I order food on DoorDash, I am a patient man. It could take you 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours to bring me my food, and I wouldn't be mad because I know that traffic exists and I know that you have other orders to fulfill. I only have 2 criterias when I get food on DoorDash. Number 1, bring it to the right house. Number 2, don't slam my food on the fucking ground. You'd think that I'm not asking for much. This might seem like the bare minimum, but you'd be surprised. So what I do is if they bring me my food and they meet those 2 conditions, if they just do the bare minimum for me, then you got yourself a $10 tip. I will tip you. There's an option on DoorDash where you can tip after the delivery, and that is when I'll tip my driver. Because if they were able to do those 2 things for me, then I know that they have a fucking brain and they're actually trying their best. So what will I do? I'll do something nice for them in return. I'll always tip $10 minimum, even if it's like a $15 meal, because I know that gas isn't cheap. And I know that there's gonna go fulfill other orders. I know that they need the money. So why wouldn't I try to help them out a little bit? If they bring me my food quickly, on top of the fact that I put no tip initially, you just got yourself a $20 tip, my boy. Like, you deserve that. You are a hard worker. And the least I could do is give you a tip that was worth your time. But the reason that I never, ever tip up front anymore is because of what one specific DoorDash driver did to me. We're gonna call her Avery. Now, it was 1 a.m. It was really, really late at night, so I guess it was sort of my fault for ordering food this late to begin with. I was in the mood for some fucking hot dogs. So I ordered from this spot called Mad Dogs, which was one of the only places that was open late at night, and they have some good-ass fucking hot dogs. I was pretty excited for my food. I knew that I was ordering this at 1 a.m., and it was dark outside, so I tried to do everything in my power to make it as easy for the DoorDash driver to get to my house. I fucking turned all the lights on. I practically had a giant red arrow pointing at my front door saying, "This is the correct house." What does Avery do? Avery decides to royally fuck me. Avery puts the food all the way on the other side of the neighborhood. So now when it says delivery came through, I was all excited. I had a big fat grin on my face. I open my front door and I see flies. Fucking nothing. Nothing is at my front door. So I'm thinking to myself, that's a little weird. I check on the DoorDash app and I see that there's a photo of my food that did get placed, and it's at the wrong fucking house. And this might seem like a mild inconvenience to you, and it really was. I wasn't that upset. So I put on my robe and I walked out to the other side of the neighborhood to go get my food. What I didn't know is that the motherfucker who got the food dropped off, the guy that got my food by mistake, has a fucking Ring camera that notifies him anytime that there's movement in the front door. So when I pull up at damn near 2, 3 a.m. trying to grab my food, all I see is a door fucking open, and I see this giant ass fucking white dude balding, and I don't know if he has a gun or not. He's just standing like this, like he's gonna pump fake me, like he just has something in his pocket. I don't know. I don't think he had anything, if I'm being honest. But I fucking hate Texas. Everyone has a gun anyway, so you can never be too safe. And he starts fucking interrogating me. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing at my front door? Who put that there? Who are you, bro?" I had to fucking explain myself, pull out the app, damn near do a retina scan to prove that I ordered these fucking hot dogs. And this entire ordeal could have just been saved had I gotten my food in the right spot. And you know what pisses me off the most? Do you know what angers me the most, rattles me to my core, makes my blood boil? I gave her the $10 tip up front because she was delivering late at night. And I thought to myself, you know what? Avery is a real fucking trooper. If she's willing to bring me my food this late into the night, then I should be willing to give her a tip. I regret that to this day. If I could take that $10 tip back, I absolutely would. And I would also take $10 from her. What the fuck? You know, she almost got me slimed out over some fucking hot dogs. I could see the news right now. Young Latino male gunned down over a chili cheese dog with extra barbecue sauce or whatever the fuck I ordered. I don't know, bro. I still believe in tipping your DoorDash driver. I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's a kind courtesy that goes a long way, especially if you order food that's extremely far away from your house and you're forcing the poor driver to go to Narnia and back just to bring you your fucking food. At that point, I do believe that you're obligated to tip. She drove 5 minutes to get to my house. It barely took her any amount of time to get from point A to point B, yet she still couldn't do the simplest fucking instructions. And when I opened my hot dogs, it looked like somebody nutted on them, bro. It was like the sausage was all over the place. It was outside of the bun. The chili, or you know, the chili that they put on top of the hot dog was just fucking completely falling off the sausage. So what the fuck? You fucked up my food. You brought it to the wrong place, and I still tipped you. You, my friend, have fucked me. You have absolutely penetrated my asshole, and I will never forget this. From that day forward, to this day, if I ever order DoorDash, I'm not tipping until after. If you can't do the bare minimum, then I won't feel bad about not tipping. And that's which musical artist would have the biggest concert if they had one in present day? Let me explain. A single dead celebrity is now brought back to life for exactly 24 hours. Once they are brought back to life, they return to their absolute prime. Prime vocal cords, prime physical appearance. They are at the top echelon of their game, even if they were old when they died. This hypothetical does have a couple rules. Number 1, the artist has to be confirmed dead. I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. Number 2, there is no barrier to this concert. You can't sell tickets, and there's no language barrier. Any time that the artist sings, their words will be magically translated to the listener's native tongue. So there's zero barrier to entry for coming to this concert. It is off pure aura alone how many people are going to pull up. Number 3, the artist had to have some sort of cultural impact, either while they were alive or after they passed away. Number 4, the artist has to be known for their live performances. This is going to disqualify a couple of people. One Good example is Wi-Fi Skeleton, who is a pretty popular deceased artist, but they were not known for their live performances. So unfortunately, they will be disqualified from this hypothetical. And last but not least, Michael Jackson is disqualified because he would fucking win. So this hypothetical wouldn't even make sense if we let him join. I'm sorry, Michael Jackson, you have to sit there. My picks for this hypothetical would be in this order. Number 1 is Prince, number 2 is Freddie Mercury, number 3 is Amy Winehouse, and number 4 is David Bowie. I think if any of those 4 people were to come back to life and have a concert for 24 hours, the world would explode. Like I said, Michael Jackson is banned from this hypothetical because, you know, this is like Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. Michael Jackson is going to win. So we have to make it a little interesting. I firmly believe, like, if someone like David Bowie had a concert again in his physical and vocal prime back on Earth, bro, that dude was like top 3 gay people in existence. He's going to, like, concerts are going to explode. Cities will be demolished over this concert. And Prince is a very close pick to Michael Jackson, which kind of makes it a little bit obvious as to why he would be so successful. A lot of people argue that Prince was actually more popular than Michael Jackson. I disagree, but yeah, let me know what that artist you think would have the